Dun, dun, dun. Create a room by inviting others to broadcast you. Okay. No, I'm good. What the fuck? I don't need all this shit. I don't need all this shit. Manage your live and see who's watching. Yes, great. Thank you for the tips, Instagram Live. How do I get out of this shit? Get off my shit. Some technical difficulties. Thank you. Vibes and Visions with V. Hello, welcome back to another ascension. A water drains deep. I'm chillaxing on Northeast Star, sitting 10 toes down. Hey, soul family. Raising the vibration of the planet, because best believe we are star seeds. Hello, hey, what's up? I'm just getting started. I have a topic. Today's topic is no more self-sabotage. Even if you try, you're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore, family. That's how much we have risen. And we're going to talk about it. I am going to have a little audio playing in the background, but we're just getting started. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've been on my live. Juliet the Dreamer, what up? So we'll see how it goes. I'm in an interesting mood today, I ain't gonna lie. Yes, I'm answering questions. What's up, lady? What you got for me? But I'll answer it as I go. I'm just kind of getting started with my spiel. But you can go ahead and ask away. Ask away, V. And welcome back. I noticed you took a little time. Took a little time to yourself. And that's good. But I'm glad you back doing it today. Do you think the star seed belief can fall into some Scientology-based beliefs? Good question. Yeah. Why not? I did fan rest and recharge. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see how it couldn't. I don't think that's a bad thing though. But I mean, it's so wide. It's such a wide range that it's just like any religion. It's all one at the end of the day. To me, that made me rethink how we are using the terminology. I agree. I get some slack too for using the terminology, but it's just a word to me. It's the intent. It's the intention on how we use it. But I think it's all one. It's all the same. So all the religions, they're all saying the same thing. All science is saying the same thing. There is no separation. So yeah, it could fall into that category. But I hear what you're saying. I hear where you're coming from. Cause some people had me before, like rethinking how we use the word, but I know what it means to me. So that's really all I can really go on, is what it means to me. And what it means to me is nothing that any science can measure. Like good morning, grand rising. Exactly. There's a difference, fam. We're not morning life. We're grand when we rise. I agree. But that's what I was saying earlier, V. And we're all vibes with this. It's your intention on how you use it. If someone says good morning to me and they just mean, hey, thank you for, blessing me with your presence. Thank you for being alive again. You know what I mean? Then I know their intent is not like mourning death. You know what I mean? Their intent is all good. So I don't think we should get too caught up on the terminology. You know what I'm saying? And yes, words Words sound power. I agree, V. I'm with you. Energy behind the words for me. Yeah, I agree. But, I do agree. I feel you. And we have to be very careful how we use our words. But they're all spells at the end of the day. So the words is just pig Latin. The words is just, so it's your energy that you put behind it. If someone says good morning to me, and they don't mean no foul intent, I'm not going to take it that way. You know what I mean? So, but on a higher level, yes, we have to be very careful on the words that we say. But in this basic matrix level that we're at now, this 3-dimensional level, I think how you use the word is more important than the actual word itself. So what's your concept or idea of a starseed? For me, starseed is everything that makes us. Starseed is water. A starseed is plasma energy that comes from the portals or the stars or the mirrors above, or comes from, comes from the stars above. So when we see shooting stars, that's a star seed. When they talk about comets, that's a star seed. We're a star seed. We're made out of stardust. So it's everything. It's water. It's plasma. It's everything to me. We're stardust. Yeah, so that's nothing. That's no different from a star seed to me. The seed is just the actual, the seed that comes from above that creates us. Starseed is a soul to me. Just a bunch of particles that creates a spirit. So then once the spirit formulates, it animates the human body. So star seeds or star dust are just dust particles or the seed of life. And once they formulate, once they grow, and once they come all together, they form a spirit. Once that spirit forms together with a bunch of souls or a bunch of stardust or a bunch of star seeds from above, then it comes down, creates a spirit, and the spirit animates the physical body or the avatar. So it could be, it could mean a bunch of different things. Does your idea of starseed also include your mission here? As I said, thank you for first of all, thank you. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the questions. This is good. This is really good. Yes, because like I said, for me, starseed is a particle of soul, of your soul. So yes, I came here on a soul contract. So yes. What it means to somebody else scientifically could be a whole different thing. It's just their perspective of how they observe. So science is nothing but asking questions, what you observe. Science is not the answer. We should be focused more on the questions. The question is more important than the answer. So it's just my perspective. So that's all religion. That's all spirituality. That's all Scientology. It's all one. It's all one to me. It's just broken off. It's just like I was explaining to my daughter today. Like God and all this stuff and space and all this stuff. We're just particles of one main energy source. So like I was telling her today, I had this stick and I was like, if you break off, or I had like a branch, I was like, this branch is God. You break this piece of branch off the stick, this is God. It's all a stick. It's all a branch, but it's just a stick off of the branch. I broke another piece off of the branch. This is a masculine part of God. This stick, this is a feminine part of God. It's all one. So it's all the same shit. But what if we are the answer? I think we're the question and the answer. I got this message from Spirit once. At some point during our awakening, we stepped back stop asking questions and realize we are the answer? I think I think we're both. So we're not going to find the answer until we ask the question. I think the question is the most important because that gets it started. That gets the ball rolling. If you don't have any questions, if you think you just know all the answers, that's where people get messed up. To me, I think that's where people screw up because they think they know it all. So they stop asking questions. I think that's what we need to learn from kids. Kids are always asking questions because they're always seeking. We're truth seekers. We're not truth answerers. We're truth seekers. But that's the searching. That's the searching. Searching for God is like a fish searching for water. Well, the fish swims in water. I don't think he's searching for water because we're in water. I don't think we're searching for God. We're just searching for... This is a game. We're just putting the puzzles together. We're just finding the pieces of the puzzle because we've been fragmented, because we've been split off. So we're not God in its truest form yet. We've been fractaled. So we're trying to put the puzzle together. We don't have all the answers. No one does. No one does. Once we put the puzzle together, now we can talk on a higher level. But we don't have, we're fractal. We're a puzzle broken off right now. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. But we are the puzzle. So we are the answer. We are the answer. But we're fractaled right now. We're fragmented. We're both. Word, yes. Yeah, I don't think we need to search for God. Yeah, I agree. It's like searching a fish, searching for water. We're already in the water. We're in God. So, quote unquote, which is nature. We walk around this thing every day. So we don't have to search for nature. Nature is us and we're in nature. But we're just broken off. We're broken off. That's just how I see it. We are the answer. Yes, yes. That was meant to mean God is everywhere. Water is life. Yes, exactly. I was talking the same thing to my daughter today. I was talking the same thing. I was like, look up at the sky. What color is it? Blue. It's water. We're water. You look at the pond. You look at water. I was talking to her about different solids, metals. Metal is just solidified water. Copper, gold, silver. I might talk a little bit about that today too. All your solids is just solidified water. So everything is water, which is what God is, which is us. So we don't have to search for it. I agree. I think the search is just trying to help us know thyself and understand ourselves better. I think that's what the quote unquote search is for. But we're just swimming in water, just like fish. The fish isn't searching for water, but it's swimming around searching for where is it going to catch its food, swimming around, see what part of the water is warmer than the colder part. Swim around to see where they're going to give birth. Swim around for their mate. You know what I mean? That's the search. You know what I mean? What it drains deep, fam. Hey, we get deep. Thank you, Vibes with Vision. Vibes and Vision with V. Thank you for that. Thank you for bringing your energy. I appreciate when you come on. And that's good vibes. That's good questions, guys. That's what I'm on. Like, I don't mind you guys challenging me, but it depends on your vibration. It depends on what energy are you bringing. And I vibes with that. So I know some people like, and I'm gonna say this now. I'm done addressing haters. I'm done addressing bad comments. You get no more energy from me. I'm done trying to even block you. For all the haters that want to jump on, because I want to address this. It's an interesting day today. Because even on my Facebook, I'm getting I'm getting some of those comments. You know how it is, fam. You know how it is. So I'm no longer addressing it. So if you guys have questions, it's not like I have all the answers and I'm right, but please come with a good vibe, and I'll chop it up with you all day. We can go back and forth all day, and it's all love at the end of the day. So thank you for helping me with that, V. All right, because there's no more self-sabotage, guys, which is what this is about. No more self-sabotage. Even if you try, if you're on a high vibe, you're not going to be able to self-sabotage yourself anymore with your negative thoughts. Understand, positivity outweighs negativity 10 times to none. So before, you could have 10 negative thoughts to your one positive thought, and your 10 negative thoughts will outweigh your one positive thought. I'm telling you guys, we're on a new era. We're on a new earth. We're in a new vibration. We are rising up. All right. So even with your 10 negative thoughts to self-sabotage yourself, it's not going to outweigh your one negative thought anymore. And then eventually those 10 negative thoughts are going to become 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and then up, and away, fam. You're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore. I'm telling you from my experience. For some reason, a lot of us, empaths, frequency bliss, what up, family? We're going to get on. Yes, I know. You asked me that before. Let's set up a time, V. Let's set up a time to make that happen. And that's what I'm trying to do on my lives too. If anyone requests to hop on lives, I don't do that anymore. Any lives that any guys want to do with me, let's collaborate. Let's message each other. Let's DM each other, and we can talk about what we're going to talk about beforehand before I do any lives. I'm no longer doing any on the spot lives. I mentioned that. Yes, please do, V. I would love to. So understand that, where we are now, fam, and what vibration that we are working on these days. You can't self-sabotage anymore. For some reason, a lot of us that's on that wave, some of us, we self-sabotage relationships, we self-sabotage jobs, we self-sabotage money, we self-sabotage other people around us, and not for any ill intent. It's just that as empaths, we've been hurt so much that it's like a defense mechanism. So sometimes we're even afraid to succeed because we're worried about other people judging us. We're worried about what our family's going to say because we may be doing things a little bit differently. We're worried about being judged. We're worried about this and that. So sometimes we try to just step back and we just observe. We step back. We try to fit in the crowd, but we know that we're different. No more of that, fam. No more of that. So sometimes we push people away. Sometimes we self-sabotage. Sometimes we self-sabotage ourselves. Sometimes we have these thoughts about ourselves, which we know are not true. But we start believing those thoughts because it's just comfortable. It's just, I won't stand out. No more of that, fam. It's not going to work. You're not going to be able to self-sabotage yourself anymore. You're going to be aligned with your true self. Whether you like it or not, I'm here to tell you. Everything that you go for, that you truly want, and that you truly align yourself with, and that you're truly ready to succeed for, you're going to get. You're going to get. Because sometimes we get there and we get so close. Intimidated by our own power, essentially. Yes, V, exactly. Our own power. You're not going to be able to run away from your power anymore, guys. Because sometimes we have goals that we set for ourselves. And we start seeing, we're like, damn, I'm about to get this shit. Oh my gosh. And then for some reason, somehow, some way, those thoughts, those negative thoughts, and we start self-sabotaging. We feel like we're not good enough for it. We feel like we don't deserve it. We feel like someone else deserves it. Whatever it is that you want to tell yourself to not stick out anymore, I'm telling you, family, it's not going to work anymore. Because we're in a different vibrational frequency of the earth. So everything that you desire is going to start coming your way. It's going to start coming your way. Chapa, Alejandro Medea, I was like that as a little kid. I got too much propaganda before I was 10 that I felt like a ghost in flesh. We were. Chapa, we were like walking zombies. We were like ghosts in shells. We were like just walking on autopilot because of the programs that was given to us when we were kids. By our parents, by our teachers, by our older siblings. They didn't know shit. They were just going off the programs that they were taught. But what I'm here to tell you is all those old programs, those old thoughts are malfunctioning. Not just with you, not just with me, but we see it across the whole world. All the programs that's been displayed on TV that we're not shit, that we're just regular puny humans. It doesn't work, and it's not working anymore because we're in a new timeline. Okay? Now the scissors, what up? We're flesh bags. Yeah, check her out, Alejandro. Yeah, we are. Yeah, I like that. But we're quote unquote star seeds or stardust, or, we are the spirit. We are the soul. All composed together in solid form. We're water. We're water. And that's it. That's it. In different forms. All right. For sure. Always thinking that the books were the answer and looking up to the nasty people in power. Yeah. Yeah. No more of that. Cause it's time, fam. It's time. It's time for you to claim your power. No more giving your power away to some outside entity. It's not going to work anymore. It's not going to work anymore. So we're getting to the point where we have no more excuses for not getting everything that we desire. Everything that we desire. All right? And it starts in your mind. It starts in your thoughts. It starts in your thoughts. Once you start decreasing every negative thought that you have, say 3 positive things about yourself. And it takes work. It takes work. But eventually, you know what I mean? Because like I said, one positive thought outweighs 10 to 20 negative thoughts. So just chip away at it. Just chip away at it. Just chip away at your negative thoughts. And eventually, they'll go bye-bye because they're all programs given to you as a kid from somebody else, from a higher power. Brother, sister, somebody on TV. That's not who you are. That's not who you are. So the power is in the mind. The power is in the mind. So once you understand that, tell yourself whatever you want. Tell yourself a bunch of positive shit, even if it's not in your fruition yet. Tell yourself, I already am that. I already have it. And I bet you'll get it. I bet you'll get it. But what I'm telling you is, on a deeper level, there's no more self-sabotaging. So you're going to get it anyway. So just tell yourself that you already have it and you got it. You got it. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, fam. I'm telling you. I'm telling you from recent shit, recent experiences. But, so I wanted to just kind of introduce that. We're going to talk a little bit about the power of thought. This is going to be an audio book plan. I've been doing this on some of my lives and I kind of like it. Have some audio books playing in the background and kind of me stopping and chiming in. So we're going to do that with this one. This is going to be called Thought Vibration by Walter Atkinson. So I just wanted to combine that. If power is the mind, the heart is the generator. That's right. I love that. I love that. I love that. That's right. That's so true. That just makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Wow. The love vibration. And we're moving into the love vibration, guys. So all that hate, that's why I said, like, all that self-sabotage that comes from fear. No more fear vibration. All those haters, like I said, I'm ignoring haters for now on. Because I'm not getting on my energy. No more hate vibration. Only love vibration, guys. That's it. That's the generator. Get that heart pumping. Everything else is going to work in place. Spirit speaks to us through our heart. The enemy tries to attack the mind, exactly. But once they're working together, no one can touch you. Once you take back your power, guys, no one can touch you. No one can touch you, guys. You should have no fear. You should have no fear. No one's going to touch you. No one's coming after you. No one. You're a sovereign being. You have to take back that power. You have to claim that shit. You have to tell yourself, I am free. I am God. I am the most powerful being in the world. I am a king. I am untouchable. You have to tell yourself these things. And you have to speak it from the heart. Don't just say it. You have to speak it from your generator. You have to speak it from your spirit. I love that. You have to reprogram your mind. But what I'm telling you guys on some real shit, it's going to happen naturally because we're in a certain vibration now that you're not even going to be able to mind control yourself. You're not even going to be able to self-sabotage anymore, guys. It's going to start to become impossible. You're going to have, even if you have 20 negative thoughts in the next 5 minutes, all you got to do is have one positive thought and it's going to blast all those 20 negative thoughts away because those thoughts are not yours. Those negative thoughts are not yours. Because we're all connected, family. We're all connected in like this internet highway of consciousness. So somebody, my neighbor next door could be having all these negative thoughts. And that vibration, your thoughts vibrate, sends an invisible signal all around this bitch, all around this network. So someone next to me could be having negative thoughts about his mom and dad, and then all of a sudden, I'm start having these negative thoughts about my mom and dad or whatever they're thinking about because we're connected. That's not your thought. That's someone else's thought. You see what I'm saying? So don't hold on to your thoughts. Don't deny them. Let them come through and let them pass. What we do is we have a negative thought that's coming through this network of souls, I guess you would say. And now we think it's our thought. And now we're holding on and latching ourselves to it. Nah, let that shit pass through. Let that shit pass through, frequency bliss. The darkness is fragile. It takes one spark of hope to diminish and undo the damage darkness has done. All I need is a little spark of light. If I'm sitting in darkness and I crack open my door in my room and a little bit of sunlight or a little bit of light from outside comes in, it's going to brighten up that whole room. I'm telling you, your one positive thought is going to outweigh all your negative thoughts, family. Once you understand that, you're never going to attach yourself to a negative thought ever again because it's not yours. Attach yourself to the positive thought. If you're going to attach yourself to any of the thoughts, because the positive thoughts is somebody on a higher vibration that's near you, that's in that alignment with that positive thought coming through the highway. coming through the network of thoughts. So if you're aligned with that positive thought, it's going to hit you too. So if you're going to attach yourself to any thoughts that's coming through your highway of consciousness, attach yourself to the positive ones. Let the negative ones go because they hold no weight. They hold a low vibration. So your thoughts are not yours. Your thoughts is everybody's, is what they call the collective consciousness. And you're just aligned with that shit. It's not yours. It's not yours. Don't hold on to that shit. Why? Why hold on to it? Hold on to the positive. Don't even hold on to the positive ones. Just let the shit flow like water. Just let it come and go. 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 Don't attach yourself to nothing in this world. Nothing. If spirit equals God, holy water, and fire is associated with darkness, devil energy, then we can use the spark, i.e. the fire, the tool of the enemy, to integrate the wisdom. It's all one. It's all one. We are God and the devil. You are your own enemy, family. There's no enemy outside of you. There's no enemy on your TV. It's you. It's you holding on to all the negative thoughts that's coming your way. You're your own enemy. There's nobody outside of you trying to get you. There's nobody that's going to come into your house and fucking try to get you. There's nobody on your TV. There's no Bill Gates. There's no war, Ukraine. It's none of that shit. That's all fairy tale bullshit. It's you. It's you that's been self-sabotaging yourself since you were programmed from the age of 0 to 6. And now all of a sudden, after 6, you grew a consciousness. You were programmed. You came here as an empty slate. You had no consciousness. So everything that's been fed into your mind has been just a bunch of bullshit that's been floating around this consciousness highway, guys, that's been fed to you by your parents. You came here with a clean, empty, blank slate, no consciousness. Let that shit go. Let it go. Because it's just going to self-sabotage. DT3, what up? What up, what up, what up, what up? So let it go. Fuck the negative thoughts, guys. Fuck it. Use it as fuel. That's what I use it for. As the goddess, as the Queen V said, use it as a spark. Use it as fire. Okay, to get that water boiling. All right. That's what I use it for when I have negative thoughts. I'm like, shit, what's going on? Why am I feeling this way? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm asking questions. Your darkness is where you get your lessons. All right. So understand. So I'm going to get into this. I'm going to talk about Thought Vibrations by Walter Atkinson. Understand there's no more self-sabotaging. No matter how many negative thoughts you have, no matter how bad you feel about yourself, you're going to rise up. You're having all those negative thoughts because that's when you're in the pits of hell. Because you're burning up at that time. And what's going to happen is that Kundalini is going to rise. You're going to get into the primordial waters, the holy water, your God self, or your crown chakra. All right? Understand, guys. It's a lot deeper than what we think. It's a lot deeper than what we think. But what I'm telling you guys, you're not going to self-sabotage anymore, no matter how hard you try. No matter how hard you feel like the world is going to end. No matter how many times you feel like a bomb's going to drop over your head. No matter how many times you feel like a lot of your fears and worries, it never happens. And if anything similar to it does happen, it's like in a very minute form. It never happens the way you think it's going to happen. So just let that shit go. because you're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore. Nothing but up from here. Let's listen to a little bit of this. This Deja Vu. What up? This is Vibrational Thoughts by Thought Vibration by William Atkinson. William Atkinson.
.com presents Thought Vibration, or The Law of Attraction in the Thought World, by William Atkinson. This classic example of New Thought philosophy examines how it is possible to bring about success by thinking positively. For more audio that enlivens and inspires the mind, please visit our website at www.learnoutloud.com.
Thought Vibration, or The Law of Attraction in the Thought World, by William Walter Atkinson. Published by the New Thought Publishing Company in 1906. Chapter 1. The Law of Attraction in the Thought World. The universe is governed by law, one great law. Its manifestations are multiform, but viewed from the ultimate, there is but one law. We are familiar with some of its manifestations, but are almost totally ignorant of certain others. Still, we are learning a little more every day. The veil is being gradually lifted. We speak learnedly of the law of gravitation, but ignore that equally wonderful manifestation, the law of attraction in the thought world. We are familiar with that wonderful manifestation of law which draws and holds together the atoms of which matter is composed. We recognize the power of the law that attracts bodies to the earth, that holds the circling worlds in their places. But we close our eyes to the mighty law that draws to us the things we desire or fear. When we come to see that thought is a force, a manifestation of energy, having a magnet-like power of attraction, we will begin to understand the why and wherefore of many things that have heretofore seemed dark to us. There is no study that will so well repay the student for his time and trouble as the study of the workings of this mighty law of the world of thought, the law of attraction. When we think, we send out vibrations of a fine ethereal substance, which are as real as the vibrations manifesting light, heat, electricity, and magnetism. That these vibrations are not evident to our five senses is no proof that they do not exist. A powerful magnet will send out vibrations and exert a force sufficient to attract to itself a piece of steel weighing 100 pounds. But we can neither see, taste, smell, hear, nor feel the mighty force. These thought vibrations, likewise, cannot be seen, tasted, smelled, heard, nor felt in the ordinary way.
So like I said, family, our thoughts, we're like a magnet. Our thoughts, we have an electromagnetic field around us that's unseen. Okay? Anytime that we think anything, we send a signal, an invisible vibration to all around us. And then it connects with someone else that's on that same vibrational frequency. So your thoughts are not yours. It's just a galactic or a universal highway. We are the true internet, guys. We are the true internet. All right. Or we're telekinetic. Okay. We think other people's thoughts. Okay. But no one owns those thoughts. Okay. You didn't create that thought. You're just on that frequency that invisible vibration is on. So that's why you have to keep your vibration high so you get more positive thoughts. If you have your vibration low, you're going to get a lot of the darkness, negative, demonic thoughts. It just is what it is. All right. So don't judge them. Don't beat yourself up. Don't hold on to any thought. Just let it come and go and understand where you are in your vibe at that time. If you're having a bunch of negative thoughts, understand consciously that I need to raise. Maybe it's something I ate. Maybe it's something, maybe I'm around the people I'm around. Maybe I need to move myself out of this environment so that I can raise my vibration. Okay? So understand that we are all connected. We're all connected. Some way, somehow. Also, we don't have to follow every thought. Exactly. We don't have to follow every thought. It's the choice. That's what makes us unique as quote unquote human beings. We have a choice. There's some beings out there that they don't have the freedom of choice. We have the choice to follow which thoughts that we want to connect, or which thought highway we want to connect ourselves with. That's the beauty with us. Morris Virgo, what up, brother? What up? But just let it flow. Let it flow, guys. So understand this is about self-sabotage. No more of that. Even if you try, I think we are at such a high vibration that we can't even self-sabotage ourselves anymore, even if we try. And if things don't work out the way that you thought, it's because it wasn't ever meant for you in the first place. The things that you truly desire and that is aligned for you, no matter how scared you are of it, no matter how afraid you are of succeeding, you're going to get it one way or another. You just have to be patient. You just have to be patient, bro. Yeah, it's right. It's the time, bro. So this is, again, we'll let this continue. I'm going to chime in and out. This is Thought Vibration by Walter Atkinson.
Although it is true that there are on record cases of persons peculiarly sensitive to psychic impressions who have perceived powerful thought waves, and very many of us can testify that we have distinctly felt the thought vibrations of others, both whilst in the presence of the sender and at a distance. Telepathy and its kindred phenomena are not idle dreams. Light and heat are manifested by vibrations of a far lower intensity than those of thought. But the difference is solely in the rate of vibration. The annals of science throw an interesting light upon this question. Professor Elisha Gray, an eminent scientist, says in his little book, The Miracles of Nature, "There is much food for speculation in the thought that there exist sound waves that no human ear can hear, and color waves of light that no eye can see. The long, dark, soundless space between 40,000 and 400 trillion vibrations per second, and the infinity of range beyond 700 trillion vibrations per second, where light ceases in the universe of motion, makes it possible to indulge in speculation." M. Williams, in his work entitled Short Chapters in Science, says, "There is no gradation between the most rapid undulations or tremblings that produce our sensation of sound and the slowest of those which give rise to our sensations of gentlest warmth. There is a huge gap between them, wide enough to include another world of motion, all lying between our worlds of sound and our world of heat and light. And there is no good reason whatever for..."
Wow. So family, you're your own world. Depending on how fast you're vibrating depends on where you are in this world. But we're our own world. So as I was talking to my daughter about this today, because she was watching something and they were talking about like outer space. Family, outer space is not some fairy tale thing up in the sky. Outer space is anything outside of you, because you are your own world. And depending on your rate of vibration will depend on where you're at in the galaxy. But it's not something that's just up there. It's all around us. It's not called upper space. It's outer space. Okay? You are your own planet. Someone else standing next to you is their own planet. That's why people be like, give me space. Give me space, because they hopped into your universe. They hopped into your planet. Back up. Give me space. Space is anything outside of you. And depending on your vibrational level, or how fast or how slow that you are thinking or vibrating, because again, vibration is thought. It's invisible. You don't see it, but it can connect with other planets or other people. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so space, outer space is not something up. That's just what they say is up there, that they shoot rockets and all this fairy tale stuff. No, outer space is anything outside of you, because you are an entire universe or entire planet, and you have your own souls or your own solar system within you. There's no difference between you and those stars up there. There is no difference. You're just a fractaled version of that. Okay? So, again, vibration is thought. It's an invisible connection. And depending on your rate of vibration, you can connect. That's how I connect with you guys, because we're on the same vibrational frequency or the same vibrational level. That some people that's moving at a slower rate, they just don't get. And they called haters. Fuck them haters. All right? Don't listen to them. You're getting to a point where you can't self-sabotage. You're going to get your powers whether you like it or not. So just accept it. Just take it in and let it be what it is. Don't deny your powers anymore, because you're vibrating so high, you're not going to be able to self-sabotage. Let's continue on.
Supposing that matter is incapable of such intermediate activity, or that such activity may not give rise to intermediate sensations, provided there are organs for taking up and sensifying their movements. I cite the above authorities merely to give you food for thought, not to attempt to demonstrate to you the fact that thought vibrations exist. The last named fact has been fully established to the satisfaction of numerous investigators of the subject, and a little reflection will show you that it coincides with your own experiences. We often hear repeated the well-known mental science statement, "Thoughts are things." And we say these words over without consciously realizing just what is the meaning of the statement. If we fully comprehended the truth of the statement and the natural consequences of the truth back of it, we should understand many things.
All right, yeah. So thoughts are not nothing outside of you. Everything outside of you is the Maya, is an illusion. Anything that you see. I can grab this thing right here. And it doesn't really exist. You can't take it with you. It can only vibrate at a certain frequency or move. It can only vibrate so fast or so slow in this physical world. But I wasn't born with this. I can't take it with me. So in all reality, it's just something that I see. It's thought. It's my thought. It's a vibration. Okay? So it's not real. I'm saying this because we attach these are just toys. Family, I'm talking to my daughter about this today. She's 8 years old. She's talking about a freaking cell phone. So I had to have like a deep conversation where these are just toys. This is stuff that you play with in the physical world, but this ain't real. None of this shit is real, family. Stop attaching yourself. This is some roll-on like stuff I use for my joints and my bones, because I'm an old head. But you see what I'm saying? Like, these are just toys that we play with in the physical world. This is not real. These are just thoughts. This is just vibrating at a certain pitch. It's just a vibration. That's it. It's nothing that you should truly attach yourself to. So don't attach yourself to your thoughts. Don't attach yourself to any of it, because it's just a vibration. It's just to help you see in this physical world. All right. I don't know why I got on that rant. I had to say that. But what I'm saying is, don't get attached to your cars. Don't get attached to money. These are nice, cool things for us to feel comfortable and to interact with and to play with in this physical world. But you can't take that shit with you. So play with it when it's here. Get rid of it when you don't need it anymore. Get a new one if you desire it. Manifest that shit. Think positive thoughts. If you want a fucking beautiful $1 million mansion, stop self-sabotaging yourself and think that you can't get it if that's what you truly desire. But you have to have positive, it comes from your thought. It comes from how you think about it. If you think that I can't get it, then you never will. If that's what you truly desire, I don't know. I don't care. But if you think that you can get it, then work towards it. Align yourself with it. Now you can't just be sitting at home but it starts in your head. It starts by you thinking about it. So sometimes you need to sit and meditate before you actually put it into action first. But you got to put it into action first too, if that's what you want. But understand at the end of the day, it's just something, and then it's just a toy. It's just a toy. It's not anything real. Okay? And if you think at it like that, if you think at this place as just like heaven is a playground, if you think of it just like a playground, then you can have whatever you desire. Then you don't take it as serious, and then you actually get it faster. Then when you take it so serious and think that like, I gotta have it, I gotta have this $1 million mansion to survive. No, you don't. No, you don't. But if you just look at it as a toy, or you look at it as whatever, you can get it. It's not hard. It's not hard at all. Not hard at all. But understand, you have to align yourself with it, and you have to understand that you're worth it. Understand that you're priceless. Okay? And it all starts with your thought. All starts with your thought.
Which have appeared dark to us, and would be able to use the wonderful power thought force, just as we use any other manifestation of energy. As I have said, when we think, we set into motion vibrations of a very high degree, but just as real as the vibrations of light, heat, sound, or electricity. And when we understand the laws governing the production and transmission of these vibrations, we will be able to use them in our daily life, just as we do the better known forms of energy. That we cannot see, hear, weigh, or measure these vibrations is no proof that they do not exist. There exist waves of sound which no human ear can hear, although some of these are undoubtedly registered by the ear of some of the insects, and others are caught by delicate scientific instruments invented by man. Yet there is a great gap between the sounds registered by the most delicate.
Gosh, I'm sorry. He's flowing, but so yes, so you can't measure it. So I understand if you're still on here, V, when it comes to Scientology, they do a lot of measurements. You can't measure the earth. You can't measure vibration. You can't measure thought. So, yeah, these are things that you can't measure. I'll continue on. But just understand that these are things that you can't measure. So when it comes to like the science of this, there is no way to explain the measurement of thought. There is no way to explain the measurement of vibration. The only thing that you can do is once it manifests into your reality, that's the only way that you can measure it. Is once it's already manifested into solid or physical form. That's the only way that you can truly measure it. But from where it comes from the starting point, yeah, you can't measure vibration. You can't measure the speed of light. It's impossible. All right. But this is how you can create your own world, is by your thoughts. You got to think it. So you could have as your own planet, as your own world, you can be living in bliss when your next door neighbor is living in hell. Because that's just the frequency that they choose to vibrate on, or by their thoughts. Okay, so because again, you are your own planet. You are your own star system. You're your own galaxy, your star seed, your stardust, whatever. I don't care what name you put on it. Okay, so what's going on in my reality may not be going on in anyone else's reality around me. You see what I mean? Because I'm on my own planet. I'm on my own vibration. I'm on my own frequency. I'm in my own universe. So when they blast stuff out on the mainstream, that's their world. That's not my world. I don't live in that shit. So anyone that tries to come into my space with that shit, they got to get off my boat. They got to get off the boat. You know what I'm saying? So understand that your thoughts are immeasurable. The only way that you can see it for what it is when it manifests or solidifies into physical form. So there's no science behind this stuff, guys. And that's what gets people. There's no math behind this, guys. There's no religion behind this, guys. That's what gets. I understand why people come at me sometimes, because I'm getting it from different directions, but I know what vibe they're on. Because they can't read it in a book. They can't, some higher up professor can't, some Scientologist can't tell them this shit, guys. It's immeasurable. You can't find this in a book. So I get it. So all I can do is try to connect with the vibration and try to explain it, or give you guys someone else that's talking about it. That's the best that I can do. But it's really unexplainable, guys. It's really unexplainable, guys. All right? Just understand, for you, just stay on the wave, stay on the vibe. Keep your vibes high as much as possible. And then you'll know what it is.
Instrument, and the limit which man's mind, reasoning by analogy, knows to be the boundary line between sound waves and some other forms of vibration. And there are light waves which the eye of man does not register, some of which may be detected by more delicate instruments, and many more so fine that the instrument has not yet been invented which will detect them, although improvements are being made every year, and the unexplored field gradually lessened.
Never.
As new instruments are invented, new vibrations are registered by them. And yet the vibrations were just as real before the invention of the instrument as afterward. Supposing that we had no instruments to register magnetism, one might be justified in denying the existence of that mighty force, because it could not be tasted, felt, smelt, heard, seen, weighted, or measured. And yet, the mighty magnet would still send out waves of force sufficient to draw to it pieces of steel weighing hundreds of pounds. Each form of vibration requires its own...
Family, you are the magnet. You're the magnet. You're the magneto. You're the magnetism. You're the magnets, okay? They'll never have an instrument that will be able to measure what is going on inside of you. You create this whole world just by our collective thoughts alone. We created this physical world, family, just by our collective thoughts alone. The ground you walk on, the fucking water that you drink, you co-created this entire universe. Liberty Liaison, what up, family? And there's never going to be able to have anything that can duplicate, or any instrument that can ever try to measure what you are capable of. Just one simple atom or one cell in this whole body of water. How powerful you are. Imagine when we all come together, truly. Imagine when we all put this piece of puzzle together. Imagine what's going to happen. Because I'm going to be around for this shit. I don't know about you guys. Gilliam 888, what up? You see what I'm saying, though, family? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's how deep this shit is. That's how deep this shit is. And there's no measurement for it. It's you. It's you. Collectively.
Own form of instrument for registration. At present, the human brain seems to be the only instrument capable of registering thought waves. Although occultists say that in this century, scientists will invent apparatus sufficiently delicate to catch and register such impressions. And from present...
I'm sorry I keep cutting off. They're already trying that shit. And this guy, he's speaking some shit. But they're already trying. They've already hooking up monkeys to fucking all this frequency shit and trying to hook up humans. You know what I'm talking about? Like how they have these test monkeys. Tesla is trying to put chips in everybody and fucking got this thing around people's head where it tests your brain thoughts and frequencies and trying to replicate that and throw you into the metaverse and throw you into the cloud in the sky. They're already doing that shit and they're never going to be able to replicate. So don't fall into that shit. Don't, because that's a losing battle. Because all you got to do is cut off the switch. And everybody that's really truly locked into that shit is done for. All you got to do is cut off the grid and that shit is done for. So are we connected to some type of brain grid that can be shut off? Who knows? A lot of people are talking about it. A lot of people are talking about it. I'm not here to say if it's going to happen or not. I don't do that fear shit. Because for me, in my world, I'm going to keep it pushing. So if the grid falls, you know what I'm saying? I know what I'm connected to. So that's why I keep your vibes high, family. And also, like I said, I'm not speaking no fear shit. I don't know what's going to happen. No one knows. But the most important is to keep your vibes high, family. Keep your vibes high as possible. And if you struggle, just tell yourself, write yourself notes, write yourself sticky notes, say affirmations, give yourself reminders, because we're going to have negative thoughts. But try to track them. Try to be more aware of them. Try to understand that when you're having a negative thought, it's temporary. Don't attach yourself to it. And try to, keep your thoughts positive as possible. Now, I know it's easier said than done, but you know what I mean? Whatever it is that you need to go through, whatever it is that you need to go through, just keep it pushing. Keep it moving. The only ones that fail are the ones that quit. So keep it pushing. Whatever it is that you desire and you feel like you really deserve it deep down inside. Don't listen to all those thoughts that's coming in your mind that's telling you don't deserve it. You do. We're here for abundance. We're here for heaven on earth. So if having $1 billion is heaven on earth to you, then fuck it. Fuck what people saying about money and how it's evil. Fuck what people saying about if you want to have a bunch of girls or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you desire, you can truly have it. You know what I mean? You can truly have it, guys. You know what I mean? We're not here to be living in limitation. That's that false bullshit. Enough of that shit. You're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore. No more. No more. It doesn't matter what you tell yourself. Because the sun's going to come up tomorrow and you're connected to it. So after you go through that dark night of the soul, you're going to rise up stronger. They can't be shut off. That can't be shut off. Connected to creative source. Exactly, Liberty Liaison. It really can't be shut off. Only the false grid can be shut off. And there's a lot of people living under the false grid. And what I'm telling you is we've been living under a false grid. And great comment, Liberty Liaison. Great comment. We've been living under a false grid. When we talk about the grid and stuff going down, the shit already fucking collapsed, people. Goddamn, have y'all been paying attention? Enough. Like, let's get real. Enough of this fear shit. I understand, yes, you should be prepared, but be mentally prepared for everything. You should always be mentally prepared. All that physical shit, all that shit outside of you ain't gonna do you no fucking good. If you can't take it with you, if you were to die, if you were to perish tomorrow, can you take all that food that you're collecting? And this is nothing against anybody. Can you take all that food that you're collecting with you? Can you take all those guns and shit that you're collecting with you? No. No. All you're doing is they're fucking hitting you with the fear tactic so that you can go buy their products and they can go it's a marketing strategy so that they can go make money off you. We live in abundance. You're never going to run out of food. Mama Gaia produces that shit. You're never going to run out of gold, silver. It comes from the ground. It comes from earth. You're never going to run out of water. What the fuck is wrong with people? Now, the false grid or the false matrix, they can stop producing the shit in the labs and stop selling it in the stores. So now, yeah, you got to go get your own shit. A lot of people have gotten so lazy, they don't know how to get their own shit. But everything comes from Mother Earth, which is God. So you're never going to run out. Fear is the only card they have to control. Gold is dirt. It comes from the ground. It's solidified fucking dirt. Good shit, Liberty Liaison. The fucking Queen and the Vatican, all them, they ain't got all the gold because Mama Gaia is producing that shit every day. So when you tell me that America's not the promised land, even though it produces all the natural resources of gold, silver, copper, every fucking thing, and you saying that it was the only reason we have it because it was stolen from Africa. No, I'm not talking about the shit that was taken from different parts of the land by the fucking government. I'm talking about the natural resource that is still being produced today, you... Fuck haters. Guys, all the gold, all the silver is still being naturally produced from the earth. All the copper, all the silver, all the everything is still being produced. All the water, all the food. Like, come on. Do you know where you guys live? You know what you live on. Let's continue on, man. Let's continue on.
Indications. It looks as if the invention named might be expected at any time. The demand exists and undoubtedly will be soon supplied. But to those who have experimented along the lines of practical telepathy, no...
Family, be mentally prepared. You should already be. What's been going on these last couple years has been preparing you. Continue, because it's a never-ending story, guys. This is your awakening. You had to wake up. So always mentally prepared is the most important thing. Now, if you want to stack up and stock up on some things, you know what I mean? You know, that's cool. That's cool. But if you ain't mentally prepared, all that physical shit that you got, it's not going to help you out. Anyway, the fucking grid has already fell. It's a mental grid. Okay, guys? And it's a false grid. The false grid has already fallen. All right? And we see it. We see it all over the world. So it's just a lot of people are still denying it. So yeah, you're not going to be able to turn off the ultimate power source because none of us puny humans have that button to do it. So that shit doesn't matter. All right. And understand that you're electricity. So any of this false electric grid that they're talking about falling off, you are the electricity. You are the light. All right. So understand that you are part of the source. So it don't matter what these zombies are talking about. Don't listen to them. I don't care how conscious they're talking. If anybody talking some fear shit, stop listening to them, man. Stop listening to them. Listen to yourself.
Further proof is required than the results of their own experiments. We are sending out thoughts of greater or less intensity all the time, and we are reaping the results of such thoughts. Not only do our thought waves influence ourselves and others, but they have a drawing power. They attract to us the thoughts of others, things, circumstances, people, luck, in accord with the character of the thought uppermost in our minds. Thoughts of love will attract to us the love of others.
Love.
Circumstances and surroundings in accord with the thought. People who are of like thought. Thoughts of anger, hate, envy, malice, and jealousy will draw to us the foul brood of kindred thoughts emanating from the minds of others. Circumstances in which we will be called upon to manifest these vile thoughts and will receive them in turn from others. People who will manifest in harmony, and so on. A strong thought, or a thought long continued, will make us the center of attraction for the corresponding thought waves of others. Like attracts like in the thought world. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. Birds of a feather flock together in the thought world. Curses, like chickens, come home to roost, and bringing their friends with them. The man or woman who is filled with love sees love on all sides and attracts the love of others. The man with hate in his heart gets all the hate he can stand. The man who thinks fight generally runs up against all the fight he wants before he gets through. And so it goes. Each gets what he calls for over the wireless telegraphy of the mind.
So you create your own world by your thoughts. Do you see what I'm saying? So if there's somebody around you that is, what up, fam? What up, Only Inspiration? If there's somebody around you that is speaking fear, hate, scarcity, then that's because you've attracted yourself to them, or they've attracted themselves to you. Either one way or another, you guys have attracted yourselves to each other. So you guys are creating a reality. If you don't want that, if you don't want a food shortage, stop listening to people talking about food shortages. We are so attracted to gossip. Stop listening to it. If that's not what you want, if you want it, then keep listening to it. And you're going to continue to get it. You're going to continue to have those thoughts because that's the vibration, which is thought, that you are connecting yourself to. So if anyone around me is speaking that shit, I know that I need to raise my vibration before that starts being created in my world. So I need to get away from them. I need to stop listening to it. I need to quickly turn that page. I need to quickly scroll past that shit. I need to maybe unfollow them. Whatever it is that I need to do. I don't care about friends because I'm no longer self-sabotaging, guys. If anybody I hear talk about gas prices in my area, I move. I don't want to hear that shit. And then eventually what happens? It starts going down in my area. So you see what I'm saying? You create your own world by your thoughts alone. You need to change the channel. Exactly. Exactly, my faith. You need to change the channel because that's what you're channeling into. That's what you're channeling. I use it as a warning to let me know that my vibration is low because I created this in my environment. So my vibration is low. So fuck, I need to change the channel. I need to raise my vibration. I need to drink some blueberries to raise my vibration. I need to take a Himalayan salt bath. I need to do something. I need to change my thought pattern. I need to start saying some affirmations. That's when I see darkness in my physical environment or even on my phone or just in my vicinity, I look at myself. I don't start blaming everyone else because I know that I'm a co-creator of my environment. So I know that's a warning to me that something is wrong with my vibe, that I'm channeling in that shit. Now I need to move. I need to change the conversation. I need to change the vibration. I need to change the channel. You see how that works, family? That's how you become the creator of your own reality. Understand, you are a planet of your own. That's how you create your own space. Now, when people are around me and know what I'm about, they don't bring that vibe to me. Now I've raised their vibration. So now I'm only attracting people that's on a higher vibration or a higher thought pattern or a higher channel because I put my firewall up. I put my, you know what I mean? I put my boundaries up like, yo, if you're going to be around me, this is what we doing. If not, then we can't be around each other. Okay? And you got to have that. You got to have those things. If you need to write them down, you have to, if you want to truly create whatever it is that you truly desire. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with the people around you. And it starts with the programs that you are taking in your mind. You got to lay those boundaries with people. It's a must. It's a must because there's no more self-sabotaging. Raise your vibration. Exactly. All right, so let's continue on. Thought vibration. That's all we're talking about is thought vibration because your thoughts is a vibration. Your thoughts are invisible vibration that can never be measured. I don't care how many fucking bowl tubes they try to put and connect your brain waves to your head. And if you're letting people experiment on you like that, then I don't know what to tell you. But it doesn't matter how they can never measure it. It can never measure it. Okay. Thought Vibration by Walter Atkinson.
The man who rises in the morning feeling grumpy usually manages to have the whole family in the same mood before the breakfast is over. The nagging woman generally finds enough to gratify her nagging propensity during the day. This matter of thought attraction is a serious one. When you stop to think of it, you will see that a man really makes his own surroundings, although he blames others for it. I have known people who understand this law to hold a positive, calm thought and be absolutely unaffected by the inharmony surrounding them. They were like the vessel from which the oil had been poured on the troubled waters. They rested safely and calmly, whilst the tempest raged around them. One is not at the mercy of the fitful storms of thought after he has learned the workings of the law. We have passed through the age of physical force onto the age of intellectual supremacy, and are now entering a new and almost unknown field, that of psychic power. This field of energy has its established laws, as well as have the others, and we should acquaint ourselves with them, or we will be crowded to the wall, as are the ignorant on the plains.
Listen up. We're entering a new age, family. We're entering a new age of us tapping into our psychic abilities for real, for real. Listen up. No more of that physical shit. No more.
Of effort. I will endeavor to make plain to you the great underlying principles of this new field of energy which is opening up before us, that you may be able to make use of this great power and apply it for legitimate and worthy purposes, just as men are using steam, electricity, and other forms of energy today. Chapter 2. Thought waves and their process of reproduction. Like a stone thrown into the water, thought produces ripples and waves which spread out over the great ocean of thought. There is this difference, however. The waves on the water move only on a level plane in all directions, whereas thought waves move in all directions from a common center, just as do the rays from the sun. Just as we here on Earth are surrounded by a great sea.
I think you're about to say it, but I'm about to say it. We live in water, guys. Water's all around us. We are water. We live in water, primordial water that can't be seen, air, all the elements, wind, fire, it's all water. At the end of the day, it's really all water, just in different solidified or vibrational forms. Depending on how fast or how slow your water is moving will depend on how dense or how solid it is. Okay? We live in water, guys. We live in water and it's unseen. Okay? So just like when you throw a rock and it ripples, as he was saying, in water, that's thought. That's how your thought. It's a vibration. It just can't be seen. But it's the same concept. As soon as you think something, as soon as you say something, as soon as you move, It sends a ripple in this big sea. I think that's what he's about to say. In this big sea of water that we live in. And it connects to the other fish or the other person. It connects to someone else can feel it. It's just like a dolphin. Like a dolphin can make sounds and it can speak to another dolphin on the other side of the ocean because those sonic waves. All right? No different. No different than us. We're no different. They're just in a different density of water, those dolphins and those fish, than us walking around. We live in water. Best believe. Best believe it.
Of air, so are we surrounded by a great sea of mind. Our thought waves move through this vast mental ether, extending, however, in all directions, as I have explained, becoming somewhat less
I'm sorry. Ether, the primordial water, that's what we're talking about, or air. He said this great sea of air. Air is just a different density of water, guys. I'm telling you. It's all about water. This water drains deep, goddammit. Excuse my language.
in intensity according to the distance traversed, because of the friction occasioned by the waves coming in contact with the great body of mind surrounding us on all sides. These thought waves have other qualities differing from the waves on the water. They have the...
Family, your brain sits in a pool of water. Your brain sits in like a gel of water. You were born in... You're a fish, dude. You were born in your mother's womb, which is water. You're inside of a huge womb right now, guys. What they call Mother Earth. You fucking star seed. You ain't even been truly born yet. You ain't even got all your powers yet. You think that you're just just a human walking around and just like you ain't even got all your shit yet. You're still in the beginning stages of birth. You guys are funny, man. You guys take this life so serious. Fucking, we're just a bunch of little sperm, fucking primordial water swimming around and thinking that we're full-grown gods.
The property of reproducing themselves. In this respect, they resemble sound waves rather than waves upon the water. Just as a note of the violin will cause the thin glass to vibrate and sing, so will a strong thought tend to awaken similar vibrations in minds attuned to receive it. Many of the stray thoughts which come to us are but reflections or answering vibrations to some strong thought set out by another. But unless our minds are attuned to receive it, the thought will not likely affect us. If we are thinking high and great thoughts, our minds acquire a certain keynote corresponding to the character of the thoughts we have been thinking. And this keynote, once established, will be apt to catch the vibrations of other minds keyed to the same thought. On the other hand, let us get into the habit of thinking thoughts of an opposite character, and we will soon be echoing the low order of thought emanating from the minds of the thousands thinking along the same lines.
Yep.
We are largely what we have thought ourselves into being, the balance being represented by the character of the suggestions and thoughts of others, which have reached us.
And understand this, family. I think he's going to say this at some point. If it's not him, I heard it from someone else that was talking. The issue is that the reason that we have more negative thoughts than positive thoughts, because the whole world has more negative thoughts than positive thoughts. So there's more negative thoughts swirling around in this primordial water thought channel highway that's connecting to all of us. It's because it's being purposefully done that way. That's the true war. The true world is a thought war. It's not a physical war. I don't know what's going on in a whole different planet than me that they call Ukraine. That's a whole fucking different planet to me. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there. All I know is they're collecting your money. That's all I know. They're collecting your money or your thought. They're collecting your currency, which is your thought. They're collecting all your shit. So, the problem is that there's too much negative thoughts going on around here. in this whole fucking consciousness that we're in. I don't even know what the fuck this shit is anymore. I'm done trying to figure out where are we really. We're in a fucking dream. But anyway, like, this is being purposefully done. That's why on the news, that's all you see is bad news. They'll find any little thing. They'll find any little thing that they can find that's going wrong and blow it up. And now everybody's thinking about it. And now I'm thinking about fucking what's going on in a whole nother planet. That has nothing to do with me. And now we start creating it in our reality. Now everybody's fucking scared of the boogeyman. Of some shit that doesn't exist. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told you, all it takes is one positive thought, and all it takes is one little beam of light, and it's going to blow up all the darkness. It's going to blow up all the negative thoughts. So they have to triple, quadruple, make 100 thoughts, 100 negative thoughts to your one positive thought. They have to do that. They have to put that psychological attack on you. Because you think one good thought and it's going to blast away all them negative thoughts. One positive thought. That's all we need. All I need is one spark of light. All I need is a little bit. All I need is a little bit of light. And I'm going to blast their asses. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why they go so hard with the negativity, guys. That's why they go so hard with it. Because that's the true war. That's the true war. It's a spiritual thought war. It's a war of the minds. That's the true war. All right? So that's why you have a lot of negative thoughts for out of nowhere. You could be having a great day. All of a sudden, you just start thinking these negative thoughts. That has nothing to do with what you got going on right now. You're like, what the fuck? Why am I thinking this shit? It's because it's a collective. It's a collective thing. That thought vibration has came your way. And you've connected with it. Some way, somehow. Eventually, one of them 100 thoughts to your 100 negative thoughts to your one positive thought. Eventually, one of them going to scare you. Is going to hit you. And now it's going to try to latch or leech onto you. It's going to try to vampire off of you. We're their energy source, guys. The more we give that negativity energy, the longer it's going to last. The longer it's going to be alive. Once we understand that and stop, like, I'm not saying like just like be blind, like understand where you're at, but use it for education. Use it for educational purposes. Don't like latch yourself to it and don't make it your own. Use it to educate someone. Use it to empower you. Use it. You transmute it. I think that's what one of the goddesses said on here earlier. You transmute negativity. That's what I use negativity. If I know I live in hell, I live in a field of negativity. I'm the one beam of light. I'm going to reverse engineer that shit. I'm going to transmute their shit. I'm fucking Bruce Lee around this bitch. Sometimes you got to counter. Sometimes you got to let it attack you and you have to counterbalance that shit. And now you get your demons, your negativity to fuel and work for you. You get your haters to work for you. You don't give them energy. You don't give negativity energy. You transmute it. Sometimes you have to duck it. Sometimes you got to fight this shit head on. That's the best way to go, is to fight negativity head on. Then you use their energy. They're going to use my energy. So fuck it. We're in a spiritual war. I'm going to use their energy. Fuck. What am I supposed to do? Let them keep kicking my ass? Nah, dude. I'm going to fight them head on. I'm Bruce Lee around this bitch. Like fight 20 freaking mob heads. Just me head on. Spiritual shit. All right. So again, the reason why you think negative thoughts is because you're connected to a negative highway. And the consciousness of this realm, which we're raising our consciousness, has been such in a pit of hell for so long that it's just a program. Automatically, people just have negative thoughts. And once that vibration or that thought negative pattern gets sent out invisible, it gets sent out to everybody in its area. So that's why you have it. So just understand that and use it to blast their asses. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Discovering my truth. Hey. What up, family? But sometimes it's best not to try to avoid it. You just have to know what strategy that you're using, which spiritual tool belt you have. Sometimes I attack it head on. Sometimes I counter punch it. Sometimes I dip it. Sometimes I just change the channel. Sometimes I ignore it. It's whatever strategy that is best at that time. There isn't just one strategy. Okay? Okay? So understand that. Understand that. Be connected to the positive frequency highway of thought to beat out those 100 negatives coming at you on a daily basis, because they're out there. They're out there. But don't attach yourself to them. Kick their ass and keep it fucking moving. Keep it moving. All right? No more self-sabotaging, guys. No more self-sabotaging. And the higher that your frequency or the higher your vibration is, you're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore. You're not going to be able to. Because if you're having a bad thing, if you're having a bad day, just tell yourself, I'm having a great day. And watch what happens. Immediately watch what happens to the rest of your day. Just by you telling yourself, actually, I'm having a great day. You could be having the worst day in the world. And as soon as you tell yourself, actually, you know what? I'm having a great day. Watch how your day changes. Watch how your thought patterns change. Watch how your vibrations change. Watch how you start feeling. Watch how you start moving. Watch the people that you start attracting around you. Nothing but good people to reinforce your positive thoughts, to help you out with that. Your angel's going to send people to you that you are attracting to. Watch it. Just start telling yourself, mind control yourself, mind trick yourself, and watch the difference in the rest of your day. You start doing that on a consistent basis, watch in a couple months where you be. Watch in the next year where you be if you start tricking your own mind and start mind controlling your own self instead of letting someone else control your thoughts and your actions. You start taking back control. All right? No more self-sabotage. All right? This is Thought Vibration by Walter Atkinson. Let's continue on, family.
Either directly by verbal suggestions or telepathically by means of such thought waves. Our general mental attitude, however, determines the character of the thought waves received from others, as well as the thoughts emanating from ourselves.
Yes.
We receive only such thoughts as are in harmony with the general mental attitude held by ourselves. The thoughts not in harmony affecting us very little, as they awaken no response in us. The man who believes thoroughly in himself and maintains a positive, strong mental attitude of confidence and determination is not likely to be affected by the adverse and negative thoughts of discouragement and failure emanating from the minds of other persons in whom these last qualities predominate. At the same time, these negative thoughts, if they reach one whose mental attitude is pitched on a low key, deepen his negative state and add fuel to the fire which is consuming his strength. Or, if you prefer this figure, serve to further smother the fire of his energy and activity. We attract to us the thoughts of others of the same order of thought. The man who thinks success will be apt to get into tune with the minds of others thinking likewise, and they will help him, and he them. The man who allows his mind to dwell constantly upon thoughts of failure brings himself into close touch with the minds of other failure people, and each will tend to pull the other down still more. The man who thinks that all is evil is apt to see such evil, and will be brought into contact with others who will seem to prove his theory. And the man who looks for good in everything and everybody will be likely to attract to himself the things and people corresponding to his thought. We generally see that for which we look. You will be able to carry this idea more clearly if you will think of the Marconi wireless instruments, which receive the vibrations only from the sending instrument, which has been attuned to the same key, while other telegrams are passing through the air in near vicinity without affecting the instrument.
Close my door.
The same law applies to the operations of thought. We receive only that which corresponds to our mental attunement. If we have been discouraged, we may rest assured that we have dropped into a negative key, and have been affected not only by our own thoughts, but have also received the added depressing thoughts of similar character, which are constantly being sent out from the minds of other unfortunates who have not yet learned the law of attraction in the thought world. And if we occasionally rise to heights of enthusiasm and energy, how quickly we feel the inflow of the courageous, daring, energetic, positive thoughts being sent out by the live men and women of the world. We recognize this without much trouble when we come in personal contact with people and feel their vibrations, depressing or invigorating as the case may be. But the same law operates when...
And this is what a lot of empaths struggle with, because we take on other people's feelings, thoughts, emotions unintentionally. It just is what it is. And we're very conscious of it. So a lot of us struggle because we have a lot of people that have negative thoughts that's around us. Family members, coworkers. There's just some people that you are around that you can't, like if you're at work and you're around a bunch of negative people, you got to pay your bills. I understand, like you got to be around them. So this is where a lot of us struggle with, but just be aware. Just be aware of it. Just be aware of it. This is why I'm feeling this way. Like, because I'm taking in other people's energy. I'm taking in other people's emotions. I always say emotions is energy in motion. So their energy is in motion, and it's got to attach to something. It's got to attach to something. And it's going to attach to everything around it, which is you. So be aware of that and understand that that's not you. That's someone else's. But at the same time, you have to be aware, and you have to take ownership of the reason why you're in that environment. Not to blame anybody else, take ownership. So how I take ownership, if I'm in an area or a place that I don't want to be, but I'm there, is that there's something that I need to learn from it. There's something that I need to learn from their negativity. You know what I mean? I don't blame them like, oh, you made me feel this way. No, that's victim. No, you look at yourself. Because again, they're just a mirror image of what's going on inside of your world. They're just a physical representation of your thought vibration that has slowed down into a more solidified or physical form. Okay, so now that they've manifested into your world or into your reality, understand we're on our each world. So you've allowed them to get that close to you. I don't care if you work there, or if they're a family member, you feel like you can't get away from them. No, you're there for a reason. So learn. You should always be trying to learn something. Okay, be a student, try to learn something so that you can teach what you learned. Okay, so if someone's in my area or in my world or close to my space, there's a reason why they're there. They're either there to teach me something, or I'm either there to teach them something. So I'm either there to learn something or to teach them something. That's the only reason why. I'm either there to raise their frequency or raise their vibration, or They might be there to try to lower mine. Whatever it is, whatever it is. No more self-sabotaging, and playing the victim is self-sabotaging. So there's no more of that, guys. There's no more of looking outside of you to blame someone for where you are in your life. No, it's time for you to take responsibility. It's time for you to learn from them or teach them something so that you can raise your consciousness. And they're there. If they're a low vibrational being and they're around you, it's because you have lowered your vibration. You've lowered your vibration to teach them something so that they can raise your vibration, or you've lowered your vibration so that they can teach you what not to do so that you can raise back up. Okay, fam? So the people around you, if you don't like your environment, change it, because we're moving into our psychic powers and you're able to dictate and move worlds. You're able to move mountains. You're able to move your environment just by your thoughts alone. What up, Your Highness 369? OJK 114, what up? So your thoughts are important, family. And you do, if you don't believe, if I don't believe like I can't create my own environment, I never will. I'll never be able to get the things that I truly desire, namaste family, or truly want. I'll never be able to manifest what it is. I'll never be able to succeed in life. Again, the old paradigm, the old grid is fallen and has fell for most people. The old grid of negative thoughts is over. The old grid of fear, of scarcity, of any of those lower vibrational thought patterns are done. For some people, that world still exists. And those are the people that live in that lower vibrational thought pattern. That was their choice. Now they can come up out of that if they want, but that doesn't mean that I have to stay there anymore. And if they're around me either to remind me of that old world or to help bring them up to the new earth, to the new world, to the new thought pattern of abundance, of bliss. And bliss does not mean not knowing. Okay? Bliss can be whatever you want. But of a world of not scarcity, of a world of abundance, of a world of love. Okay? Because that's all, at the end of the day, love is going to conquer. Is conquering all. Is conquering all. Okay? Love is the generator of your thoughts. So if you are not in your heart space, if you're not in your love space, if you're not connected to your heart chakra, if you're not generating love, then your mind and your thoughts are going to be filled with all the other lower vibrational thoughts. And those vibrations are going to be sent out to everyone else. If you're in your positive love chakra, your love heart space, you're going to outweigh all that negativity that is sitting at your doorstep waiting to enter your mind. But they're going to have to keep sitting out there waiting. They're like the vampire. They can't come into your house of God unless you invite them in. Otherwise, they're going to be just sitting outside of your doorstep just waiting. Now, what I do is I transmute their asses. Sometimes I invite them in. Sometimes I don't. But when I invite them in, we're going to sit down. We're going to have a fucking talk. Now, when you go back out there, you're going to fight for me. You're going to fight for me. Now you become the master of your environment. Send out love bombs. That's it. Love's going to rule the world. And love does rule the world. But love has just been hidden under a fucking destruction of chaos. No more. We had to go through that. We had to go through that. Have you noticed, like, I notice when I walk out, like, people are more, like, willing to help you out these days. People, at least for me, people are willing, like, to talk to you more. People are, like, more in love. There's still some hotheads out there. It's because I told myself, I reprogrammed my thoughts, which sent out a vibration into my world, and it connects with other people. I told myself, everybody around me is here to help me. And now I see it. Everyone's just trying to help. Because I told myself that. Everyone's just trying to help me. Not, oh, somebody's out to get me. Somebody's going to do this to me. I don't tell myself that anymore. And it never happened. It's never going to happen anyway. So what I do is I tell myself, everybody outside of me is here to help me. And now people help me. Not even by asking. They just help me now. Because I told myself, because I sent out that vibration. Now it's connecting to people around me. Yes, people miss each other. Yeah, they did. We had to go through it. We had to go through the isolation. We had to go through all the chaos. We had to go through the darkness because we had to be reminded of who we truly are. We got away from it. So we had to be reminded. It was just a reminder. All this dark stuff that we've been going through the last 2-3 years was to wake us up, was to remind us of who we truly are and what we're truly capable of. Now we're going into the age of being able to send out those positive thoughts, send out those love thoughts to each other across the world, across other universes, across other planes of existence, across other planets. Now that's what we're on. That's what we're moving to through our thoughts, through our dreams, just by thinking a positive thought, or just by saying something positive, you feel it. And now you're going to send that out to somebody else, a family member, a friend. You're going to send that vibration out. You're going to send that thought pattern out. You're going to send that psychic, telekinetic vibe out to whoever it is. And we're going to transmute this whole world. One positive thought at a time. And then eventually those negative demons have nothing to do but to either work with us or get the fuck out of our realm. Which one? They're going to work for you, or they're going to kick their ass. They're going to get their ass kicked. All right. It's time to master this shit. It's time to master this psychological war that we're going on. Understand it's a psychological mind. It's a mind war. It's a war of the minds. And it's not a physical thing, guys. It never was. It never was. All those other physical stories that you heard about, fairy tale to fuck with your mind. I'm talking about all of them, family. I'm talking about all of them. All those wars. I don't care how far you go back. And I don't care on how current in whatever timeline that we're in, because time's been fucked with, guys. Our time, it's not 2022. I hope you guys know that. Your time has been screwed with. I hope you guys realize that. The Gregorian calendar is a fictitious calendar, guys. I talked a little bit about this. I dropped a little video about this. True time is the female cycle. which is a 9-month cycle. Which is the Maya, which is the illusion. Time is truly an illusion. Now, we can talk about space-time, we can talk about measurement, but again, you can't measure my thoughts. So you can't measure vibration, so it's an illusion. I'm here to tell you guys, all those wars, those physical wars that they talked about, is an illusion. It's always been a war of the mind. Always. It's never been a physical war. Never. I don't care what battle of Armageddon, Gettysburg, the fucking Aztec and Mayans battles and fighting and kill. Fucking Iraq. I don't give a fuck Ukraine. It's never been a physical war, family. It's always been a war of the mind. So it's always been an illusion. Let's continue on.
We are not in their presence, although less strongly. The mind has...
Fam, I know people in the fucking military. All right? I know people that quote unquote fought in Iraq, and I'm here to tell you it's an illusion. Not Iraq, whatever one, Kuwait, Iraq, fucking Siberia, whatever fucking the recent ones. It's an illusion, family. I'm not just talking. It's an illusion. It's Hollywood, fam. I'm here to tell you. I know people. And I'm here to tell you it's a fucking illusion. It's a fairy tale book. The characters' names change. The name of the war changes. But I'm telling you. And we see the Hollywood show that's going on in Ukraine. That shit's been going on for ages. It's not just them doing it. All that shit is crisis actors. All of them. All of them. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Have you been there to see it? Prove me wrong. I know crisis actors. I am a fucking actor. I know it when I see people acting. I studied this shit. All of them in your history books are crisis actors. All of them.
Many degrees of pitch, ranging from the highest positive note to the lowest negative note, with many notes in between, varying in pitch according to their respective distance from the positive or negative extreme. When your mind is operating along positive lines, you feel strong, buoyant, bright, cheerful, happy, confident, and courageous, and are enabled to do your work well, to carry out your intentions, and progress on your roads to success. You send out strong positive thought, which affects others and causes them to cooperate with you or to follow your lead.
I don't care what you read in your book. I don't care how many pictures you've seen. I don't care what type of lighting they put in the studio. I don't care. All of them bitches are fake. All of them. I don't care. Like I said, I don't care. Like what picture? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Shit. I don't care. All of them. All of them. All of them. Family. All of them. It's a war of the mind. It's a war of the mind.
To their own mental keynote. When you are playing on the extreme negative end of the mental keyboard, you feel depressed, weak, passive, dull, fearful, and cowardly. And you find yourself unable to make progress or to succeed. And your effect upon others is practically nil. You are led by, rather than leading others, and are used as a human doormat or football by more positive persons. In some persons, the positive element seems to predominate, and in others, the negative quality seems to be more in evidence. There are, of course, widely varying degrees of positiveness and negativeness, and B may be negative to A while positive to C. When two people first meet, there is generally a silent mental conflict in which their respective minds test their quality of positiveness and fix their relative position toward each other. This process may be unconscious in many cases, but it occurs nonetheless. The adjustment is often automatic, but occasionally the struggle is so sharp, the opponents being so well matched, that the matter forces itself into the consciousness of the two people. Sometimes both parties are so much alike in their degree of positiveness that they fail to come to terms mentally. They never really are able to get along with each other, and they are either mutually repelled and separate, or else stay together amid constant broils and wrangling. We are positive.
So sometimes also, family, you have some, if you're a positive being, sometimes you may have some negative beings around you because opposites do attract sometimes. Okay, it's the yin and the yang. Okay, so also understand that just because, like, if you feel like you're a high vibrational being and you may have some lower vibrational beings around you, or just some, if you like feel like you're on a certain level and you have people around you and they just talk about bull crap all day that has nothing to do with you, it's not always just a reflection of you. Yeah, it is a reflection. But also understand that your reflection is an opposite as well. Okay? And that's just the yin and the yang. That's just, we live in duality. And that's just, you have to be there to balance the scales. Sometimes you might be the only positive person in your environment because you're there to keep the environment balanced. So it's not just full of negativity. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on the occasion, guys. It just depends on the occasion. But at the end of the day, it's for you to learn. It's for you to learn or to teach or balance that environment, because you need to be there at the time to keep the earth, to keep the plane balanced, to keep this boat balanced. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be the strong force on the opposite side of the boat to keep the negative force from weighing the boat and weighing the boat down and flipping us over. You see what I'm saying? So, just understand that too. That's all about the yin and the yang. Keeping things balanced. You have to be that lighthouse in the darkness. You have to be sometimes that only beam. And I'm just talking off experience, because sometimes I'm like around negativity. I'm like, fuck. But then I like get my bearings together and like I understand like, hey, I have to be here because I'm the lighthouse of this area. So when it gets dark outside, I have to be that lighthouse that's keeping that area dark so other people can walk around and get through where they need to be. Okay? So sometimes you have to be in that area as a light being.
Or negative to everyone with whom we have relations. We may be positive to our children, our employees and dependents, but we are at the same time negative to others to whom we occupy inferior positions, or whom we have allowed to assert themselves over us. Of course, something may occur and we will suddenly become more positive than the man or woman to whom we have heretofore been negative. We frequently see cases of this kind, and as the knowledge of these mental laws becomes more general, we will see many more instances of persons asserting themselves and making use of their newfound power. But remember, you possess the power to raise the keynote of your mind to a positive pitch by an effort of the will. And, of course, it is equally true that you may allow yourself to drop into a low negative note by carelessness or a weak will. There are more people on the negative plane of thought than on the positive plane, and consequently, there are more negative thought vibrations in operation in our mental atmosphere.
Yeah.
But, happily for us, this is counterbalanced by the fact that a positive thought is infinitely more powerful than a negative one. And if by force of will we raise ourselves to a higher mental key, we can shut out the depressing thoughts and may take up the vibrations corresponding with our changed mental attitude. This is one of the secrets of...
So that's important, fam. You like that's really important. Like that's what I was saying earlier. If you're like having a bad day, you can mind control yourself and tell yourself, I'm having a great day actually. And then start to watch. Like if I start thinking something positive, then all of a sudden all this good stuff starts happening. Like stuff will pop up on my phone and I'll get these notifications. Somebody will come and like, or I'll find money just laying around, or I'll notice like I'll have something that I thought I lost, or I'll find something that I thought I lost. All this other good stuff will start, snowballing and happen good because you changed your mindset, guys. So you can trick yourself. You can trick yourself. You can mind control yourself. If you're having a bad day, just start telling yourself, I'm having a great day. Or start giving yourself some positive affirmations. Then all of a sudden, things will start changing. Because we create our world by our thoughts alone. Because we're psychics. we're telepaths, I mean. Yeah, we're psychics. We have psychokinesis. Whatever word you want to put on it. We have telepathic ability. We're telekinetic. By our thoughts alone. By our thoughts alone. That's how powerful the mind is. All right. So you can start reprogramming your mind. You can start telling yourself when things are going bad. And we do it automatically. We do it naturally. After a while, we'll get out of the pits of hell. We'll get off the ground, and eventually, after minutes or hours or days or months or even years later, after we're done with our depression, after we're done feeling bad for ourselves, after we're done sobbing, we will get up and tell ourselves everything will be all right, and then everything will start changing. Some people are unable to do that, and it just is what it is. Some people don't have that ability to do that. But for the chosen ones, you have the ability eventually to get out of your depression or out of your lower state of mind. Eventually you'll get up. So this is a hack. What I'm telling you guys is to hack your mind. It doesn't have to be minutes, hours, years. You can do it immediately. Just start telling yourself. Just start playing tricks on your mind. Actually, nothing's going wrong with me. Actually, I live in a fucking mansion. I drive a great car. I have a great job. Everyone's here to help me. And then it's going to start happening. It's going to start happening. All right. So just a quick hack. If you're feeling like you've been in a slump, just start thinking differently. Just start thinking that I can, I will, I am. I am the master of my universe. I am the creator of my world. And then I am whatever you want. I am a God. I am God in physical form. Whatever you want to tell yourself, it'll start happening. It'll start happening. And the same goes on the other part of the light spectrum. Because darkness is just light in a different form. But darkness is actually very powerful. So in another form, you can tell yourself, hey, I suck. I'm the worst mother. I'm the worst parent in the world. That's what's going to happen. I'm an alcoholic. I'm whatever it is that you want to tell yourself. The universe is just going to grant you what you tell yourself. So if you're telling yourself a bunch of negative stuff, the universe is going to be like, okay, they're the God. All right, I'm just going to give them an abundance of what they're telling themselves, which is negative thoughts. You tell yourself, I'm the greatest, like Muhammad Ali, then you'll become the greatest in the world. The universe is just going to give you what you tell yourself. That's it. Yes. No. All right, let's continue on. No more self-sabotaging, guys. It's going to be coming a point where it's going to be impossible for you to self-sabotage yourself. Because like I said, after a while, you're eventually going to get up out of that depression, out of that self-sabotaging, and you're going to step into your true power. But what I'm telling you is, even if you try to self-sabotage, it's not going to work anymore. So it's time to start accepting who you truly are. Because it's time to step in your power. Because if you're afraid to succeed, or if you're afraid to be in that loving relationship because of all the things that happened to you, all the relationships from your past, I'm here to tell you, it's on your loving relationship. Your abundance is on the way. So be prepared. You're no longer going to be allowed to self-sabotage, even if you try. Isn't that great? Isn't that great, guys? That even if you are trying to not get everything that you truly deserve because of fear of success, fear of failure, fear of being in a loving relationship, isn't it going to be great that even if you don't want it, but deep down inside you truly want it, you're not going to be able to self-sabotage and you're going to get it now? You're going to get everything that you asked for? So let's just make it natural. Speed up the process if you want to, and just tell yourself that you have it already because it's yours. It's yours. You're not going to be able to self-sabotage anymore. Isn't that great, guys? Isn't that like the best thing in the world? So be prepared. Be prepared. And you're going to try, because I even tried. It's going to slow down the process, but eventually you're going to get it. It's just going to not come as sooner as you like because of your old world thinking that you don't deserve it. No, you deserve it and you're going to get it now. Even if you think that you don't anymore, you're going to start getting it now. That's fucking wonderful. So stop slowing down the process. Just tell yourself that you deserve it. You do. You do, guys. You do. You do. You've been working hard. All of us. Consistency. Just stay consistent. Just stay consistent. Understand you're going to have a negative thought. Don't let it outweigh the positive thoughts. Eventually, those 100 negative thoughts to your one positive thought will become 50, 10 negative thoughts to 100. I'm at 10 negative thoughts to 1. Then it'll become, the ratio will go down. It'll become 3 negative thoughts to 1. Imagine that. Imagine how powerful you will be. Imagine how powerful when the tables do turn and you have no negative thoughts. Imagine your potential then. Imagine what you could be. Imagine that. I don't have any negative thoughts. None. Zero. Negative thoughts. Negative 0. Negative 1. No negative thoughts. Imagine how powerful you would be if you have no negative thoughts. And some people will be like, oh, that's impossible. Well, you will be living in a world of impossibility and you will never reach your goals. I'm going to live, and I live in a world. I live in a world where I have no negative thoughts. So, what are you going to tell me? Stop letting people tell you what you are, what you can be, what your potential is. Stop letting other people determine your thoughts, because it's just their thoughts that's passing by them, because they're on that brain wave of negative thoughts, and now they're trying to pass on that vibration to you. It's not your thought. It's not their thought. No one owns thoughts. No one owns vibration because it's invisible. No one can measure it. No one can see it. So no one owns it. So stop attaching yourself to it. Because all they're doing is trying to send off that vibration to you. They're trying to transmute it and send it to you so that they don't have those thoughts anymore. So that they can get it off their chest. Stop being their punching bag. Stop letting them sabotage you. And stop self-sabotaging. Because if you're a high vibrational being, you're not going to be able to do it anymore. The universe says no. The universe says we're in a new age. So the universe is not going to let you do it anymore. So stop doing it. Stop slowing your progress. Let's continue.
The affirmations and autosuggestions used by the several schools of mental science and other New Thought cults. There is no particular merit in affirmations of themselves, but they serve a twofold purpose. 1. They tend to establish new mental attitudes within us and act wonderfully in the direction of character building, the science of making ourselves over. 2. They tend to raise the mental keynote so that we may get the benefit of the positive thought waves of others on the same plane of thought. Whether or not we believe in them, we are constantly making affirmations. The man who asserts that he can and will do a thing, and asserts it earnestly, develops in himself the qualities conducive to the well-doing of that thing, and at the same time places his mind in the proper key to receive all the thought waves likely to help him in the doing. If, on the other hand, one says and feels that he is going to fail, he will choke and smother the thoughts coming from his own subconscious mentality, which are intended to help him, and at the same time will place himself in tune with the failure thought of the world. And there is plenty of the latter kind of thought around, I can tell you. Do not allow yourselves to be affected by the adverse and negative thoughts of those around you. Rise to the upper chambers of your mental dwelling and key yourself up to a strong pitch, away above the vibrations on the lower planes of thought. Then you will not only be
All right, so he says something about chambers. All right, so like you are the chamber. The chambers are inside of you. There's different levels. There's different chakras. There's different vertebrae in your spine that your thoughts or your feelings or your energy can move up and down. From your lower chakras to your upper chakras, you are the chamber. You are the chamber. All right. And even in the pyramids of Giza, how they have the king's chamber, the queen's chamber, that's just a replication. That's just a replica of what happens inside of you. The pyramids in Egypt, like they say they were tombs of dead bodies, or like they were places where they buried dead bodies. That's not true. It was an energy chamber. All right, it was an energy chamber, and those are being reactivated too, just like you are being reactivated and remembering and connecting or awakening yourself. So those energetic chambers. Those were healing chambers, guys. That's where the kings and queens in Egypt went to heal themselves. All right. So there's chambers inside of the pyramids, and there's pyramids all over the world, guys. It's not just Egypt. There's pyramids that they're finding in America that were bigger than Egypt. They're saying they're bigger than the ones in Egypt. There is energy healing chambers all over this world, guys, that we use to raise our vibration or raise our thought patterns. But they were just the materialized versions that were created by our ancestors or us in a different period of time, because we are our ancestors. All right. That we created to help connect with our inner world, to help us heal, vibrate higher, have better thoughts, have, whatever it is. All right. So, but the chamber is inside of you. Understand that too. I don't know. I just caught that part. I heard him talking about the chambers. The chamber is inside of you, or they call your chakras, or the kundalini, or they call whatever. Your vertebrae, your spinal cord. It's all you. It's all within you. If you want to know what's going on outside of you, pyramids, houses, buildings, the world, freaking the electric grid. If you want to know anything that's going on outside of you, first, You need to look at what's going on inside of you. Then you will understand the outside world. The true world is inside of you. Anything outside of you can only be duplicated and replicated of what is going on electrically inside of you. That's why the world war is on the mind. Because if you can control what's going on inside of a person's body or inside of a person's mind, then you can control what's going on outside of them. Okay? Halo 2. Okay? So understand everything starts within. I keep having to say that. I keep having to. I don't even know how to say it right now. This is a long session. I have to keep saying that because the world within is the only true world. I have to keep ingraining that. I have to keep saying that in my speech, in my talking, in my lessons, or whatever we want in class, in my energetic frequency. I have to keep saying that the true world is within. The true and only world is within you. Anything outside of you is a physical, materialized, slower vibration representation of what is going on inside of you. But what's going on inside of you is the true vibrational frequency of everything. You are the key of it all. Collectively, we created an entire world. We don't need a government, guys. You are the government. You are the governor. We need to take back and start governing ourselves, guys. Outside of us is a slower, vibrational, physical representation of what is going on inside of us. So your government is fucking slow dumbasses. You know what I'm saying? Like, guys, come on, seriously. Seriously, guys, I'm begging you. This is water. Like, take back control of this, of you, of yourself. Understand that you're the co-creator of this entire world. Understand that anything that you see outside of you is a slower speed. It's a slower vibrational. A solid is a condensed or a slower vibration of water. You are water. You're not 70%. You're not 80%. You're either water or you're not. You're water. You may be a slower, condensed, or slower vibrational condensed version of water, which is why you're solid, but you're water at the end of the day. Okay? So what's going on inside of you is the true primordial water. Okay? It's the true holy water. Is you inside. Moving at a frequency that's immeasurable. You can't measure it. But once it comes outside of you, that's when it starts slowing down and can be measured and be determined and have a name put on it. All right? Okay, so let's just get that. Because I'm learning with you. All right? What you see with this sense of sight is a slowed down version of what is going on at a high speed frequency inside of you that's immeasurable. And the only way that it can be truly determined and measured is when it manifests itself outside of you through your thoughts. So anything that you see outside of you is just through your thoughts. It's just a thought. That's it. It's just a slower version of your thoughts. Change your thoughts, change your world, change your physical reality. And if you change your physical vibration, because understand, positive thoughts move at a faster vibration than negative thoughts. Negative thoughts move at a slower vibration. So that's why a lot of people can't get up here. Because they live in a slower vibrational world, which just means negative. Okay? You change your thoughts, if you change your vibration to a higher or faster vibration, then things become positive. And positive moves faster than negative. So it outweighs it. 100 to 1. 100 to 1. Any day of the week. All right. So, just understand that. It all starts within. It all starts with your thoughts.
Immune to their negative vibrations, but will be in touch with the great body of strong, positive thought coming from those of your own plane of development. My aim will be to direct and train you in the proper use of thought and will, that you may have yourself well in hand and may be able to strike the positive key at any moment you may feel it necessary.
Right.
It is not necessary to strike the extreme note on all occasions.
Right.
The better plan is to keep yourself in a comfortable key without much strain, and to have the means at command whereby you can raise the pitch at once when occasion demands. By this knowledge, you will not be at the mercy of the old automatic action of the mind, but may have it well under your own control. Development of the will is...
All right, family. So we've been running on autopilot for our whole lives. We've been just running off of programs that we were taught as kids, that was instilled into us. We've been running on autopilot. Now it's time to take responsibility. No more autopilot shit. Now it's time to take responsibility. Then you can choose which part of the wave, the vibrational wave you want. You ride that shit. You choose. Do I want to be in the negativity? Do I want to be in the positivity? Where do I want to go? Which realm, which dimension, which mind, which part of my consciousness do I want to go at that time? Do I need to go low? Do I need to go low to fight demons? Do I need to go low to learn? Do I need to go into the darkness to be the light? Do I need to go there? Do I need to go into the dark night of the soul because I need to learn something? Whatever it is, do I need to go up into the positivity? Do I need to bring that fire, that force to keep the balance? What do I need? What is needed at that time in my situation? Do I need to be the only light? Do I need to stand my ground against all the negative people in the room? Do I need to be that one positive force to help change my reality, to help change the world? What do I need to do at that time? What is needed at that time? Or are you just going to be on autopilot and just go with what everyone else is doing and be a zombie like everybody else? Or are you going to be the anomaly? Are you going to be the chosen one in the room of hundreds of negativity? Which one? Are you going to be one of the 100 or are you going to be the one? Which one? Some people are scared to stand out in a room of 100 people. I just want to fit in. Sometimes you need to blend in. Just depends. You see what I'm getting at? But no more autopilot, because when you're on autopilot, you're being controlled by the computer system that we're in. You're being controlled by the system when you're on autopilot. And then you're just being dictated. You're just doing. And you can find yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in. You're like, how the fuck did I get here? It was because you were on autopilot. You were an NPC at that time. You were being controlled by the collective consciousness thought pattern. And you were just being controlled. You were being mastered. You were a slave. Okay? You were a slave. Again, I'm going to tell you, all that physical shit, all the stories, all the shit that you heard in the books, it's all fairy tale. This is your slave right here. Or your master right here. And that's it. That's it, family. That's it. All that other physical shit, all that story shit, all that fucking Roots movie shit that they tell you about, all the fucking slave ships that they tell you about. It's deeper than rap. It's a fucking fairy tale. I said it. I said it. I don't care what anyone says. It's all to control your thoughts. This is the true war. And that's the only war. Is this one right here. It's never a physical thing. Never. And that can be taken in many ways. That can be taken in many ways. All right, but it's always going to be mind over matter. Always. It doesn't matter where you are physically. It's always going to be mind over matter. It doesn't matter where you are physically. Okay? So understand that. All right? So, yeah, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. But, yeah, okay, some people didn't like that. Some people on the wave ain't gonna like that. And that's fine. I'm getting the psychological, I'm getting some of the psychological vibrations coming my way right now. I can feel it. Because I was going to say something and now it's like I'm being pulled. I'm being pulled to the left. But stand your ground. Stand your ground against your demons. Stand your ground against your spirit guides. Because you're the master. Either you're going to let your spirit guides, your ancestors, your angels, your demons control you, or you're going to control them. You're going to be the slave or the master. Which one? Because the war is within. The war is within. There is nothing outside of you. There is absolutely nothing outside of you. Any chaos that is created outside of you is something that you created within you that has manifested and materialized and has slowed down into physical form, or has slowed down its vibration, or slowed down its wave pattern and become physical. It's a ghost that has materialized. All your fears are ghosts that have materialized and now has created into a reality. Okay? Either you're going to be the master or they're going to master you. Either you're going to be the master of your demons or your guardian angels or your vampires or your ghosts or your spirit guides or your ancestors or your past lives or whatever you want to put on it. It's Mortal Kombat shit. Either all that shit that you've been through, all your childhood traumas, how we can go on because it's infinite. Either they're going to master you or you're going to master them. That's it. That's the war. And anything outside of you is a part of you that is fucking with you so that they can become the master, so that they can materialize in the physical form, because that's what they want to do. All your ancestors, all your ghosts, all your spirit guides, all your demons, all your devils, they want to be material again. All the other versions of you want to materialize again and be in your reality and interact with you and play with you and be your friends. Because they're tired of just trying to infiltrate and be just in your thoughts. They want to be in your reality again. You can choose. You can choose. You can have them materialize and be, but some of my old family members, I don't want them around me anymore. I got rid of you in this life. What the fuck? I cut you off in this life. Now you want to materialize and come back and say, hey, what about that $20 you owed me? Like, nah, dude, I paid you that shit. Stop bringing that shit up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't cut off friends. I didn't cut off family that are still living that I don't want to fuck with anymore. Well, I'm gonna try to materialize your ass. No, you just stay in the spirit world and fight for me like you're supposed to. And help me out like you're supposed to, dude. Stop trying to materialize. I'll see you when the time is for me to see you, dude. Right now it's just not the time. Stop trying to infiltrate my shit. And that's all that's happening around in your physical reality, people, are mirror images. Are materialized demons, ghosts, fucking devils. That's you. Guardian angels, ancestors, that's you. That was you in another timeline that want to jump and come into your timeline and experiment and have fun. That's all you see in your physical world, people. That's it. But they're all within you. And it's called DNA. It's all data that's in you that is reawakening and want to materialize. That's it. There's nothing outside of you that's not you. All right? So handle them. Handle your thoughts because they will materialize. If you don't want them, if you don't want that crazy uncle that, you know what I'm saying, then you better stop listening to him. You better let him know, this is my timeline. You had your time. Now, I appreciate that we're still connected, but if you don't cut it out, I'm going to cut you off. Take back control. And then he'll work for you. He'll help you out. He'll keep the evil or whatever you want to call it. He'll cut it out. But yeah, that shit is real. Like the, what's that called? It's like a Spanish ritual where they like talk to the dead. All we are is mediums, guys. We're mediums of different spirits that come in and out and want to materialize and want to drive again and want to love and kiss again and want to touch again and want to do all these other senses that necessarily they can't do in this realm. That's all we are. So they're going to control you if you don't fucking control them. And that's all that thoughts are, is a bunch of old memories from different timelines. All right? All right. So we're clear here. We understand what's going on. So be the master, not the slave. And that's true slavery, is the mind.
Very much like the
Anyone that catches this late, I'm going on today. This is, in the background, Walter Atkinson, thought vibration.
Element of a muscle, a matter of practice and gradual improvement. At first, it is apt to be tiresome, but at each trial one grows stronger until the new strength becomes real and permanent. Many of us have made ourselves positive under sudden calls or emergencies. We are in the habit of bracing up when occasion demands. But by intelligent practice, you will be so much strengthened that your habitual state will be equal to your bracing up stage now. And then, when you find it necessary to apply the spur, you will be able to reach a stage not dreamed of at present. Do not understand me as advocating a high tension continuously. This is not at all desirable, not only because it is apt to be too much of a strain upon you, but also because you will find it desirable to relieve the tension at times, and become receptive that you may absorb impressions. It is well to be able to relax and assume a certain degree of receptiveness, knowing that you are always able to spring back to the more positive state at will. The habitually strongly positive man loses much enjoyment and recreation. Positive, you give out expressions. Receptive, you take in impressions. Positive, you are a teacher. Receptive, a pupil. It is not only a good thing to be a good teacher, but it is also very important to be a good listener at times.
Right. That's right. That's right.
Chapter 3. A Talk About the Mind. Man has but one mind, but he has many mental faculties, each faculty being capable of functioning along two different lines of mental effort. There are no distinct dividing lines separating the two several functions of a faculty, but they shade into each other as do the colors of the spectrum. An active effort of any faculty of the mind is the result of a direct impulse imparted at the time of the effort. A passive effort of any faculty of the mind is the result of either a preceding active effort of the same mind, an active effort of another along the lines of suggestion, thought vibrations from the mind of another, thought impulses from an ancestor transmitted by the laws of heredity, including impulses transmitted from generation to generation from the time.
All right. I was just talking about that. You have hereditary beliefs, thoughts, feelings that all come from your ancestors. That's going on and cycling and recycling through you. You have to tame those thoughts because they come from your ancestors, whatever they were going through at that time, which is in your DNA, which is spirits. They're different spirits. So you have your ancestors talking to you in your mind on a constant basis. They're part of you. So either they're going to work for you or like bounce. I don't know what to say. Cut them off. Because some people, some family members, I don't want to fuck with right now. Like, I just don't want to. So you don't have to you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to continue to tap in to those ancestral thoughts. If you don't want to, it's a choice. That's what makes you unique. You have a choice. If it's not helping you, if it's not serving you, then it's hurting you. Then you become its servant. All right? So you have to be aware of that. A lot of your thoughts, a lot of your actions, a lot of your mannerisms, a lot of the way you look is from your ancestors, which becomes you. So you are your ancestors. All right? But their spirit is inside of you. But if their spirit is no longer helping you, if it's not serving you, if it's not showing you love, then it becomes your demon or it becomes the devil within you. So your ancestors can be your demons or your devils. So you have to work. You have to make those feelings and thoughts work for you, not against you. And that's how you master. And that's how you master thyself. Is to understand that you have your trauma does not just come from your lifetime when you were a child. You have ancestral trauma that you need to heal. Not just your lifetime, but trauma from lifetimes upon lifetimes upon lifetimes. If you never work, you can heal your ancestors by healing yourself. And then your ancestors will heal. And then your ancestors will help you have more positive thoughts. But your thoughts come from ancestral trauma. And depending on what they went through, you're dealing with some shit. And you're like, man, why do I feel this way? I had a great childhood. But you got all types of memories and trauma that's been brought on from your ancestors. Do you see how this shit gets deep? It's not just thoughts on a surface level. This is thousands upon thousands of years of recycled thoughts, recycled emotions, recycled feelings, recycled trauma that you're going to be the one to heal your ancestors. It's up to you. If not, it's going to be passed. Do you want to pass it on to your kids? Some people already have. It is what it is. You may not be the chosen one. Maybe your kid is the chosen one. That's all a chosen one is. The chosen one is the one that's going to heal ancestral trauma. That's going to truly break the cycle. Not by money, not by cars, not by being a millionaire, not by having a trust fund babies. Those are all material toys that are cool. The chosen one, the true chosen ones, is the one family member that's going to break the ancestral trauma cycle. And you do that by your thoughts. Because your thoughts are recycled thoughts from you as a child, your ancestors when they were kids, their parents when they were kids. Because that's where the trauma starts, when you're a kid. That's where the programming starts, from the age 0 to 6. Okay? That's when you're the sponge. That's when you're at your theta state. That's where you are being programmed the most. Now, I'm not saying anything after 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, 30, any type of trauma or anything that can traumatize you. I'm not saying that, but when you're 0 to 6, that's when you're being programmed. Okay? So your parents, when they were 0 to 6, whatever happened to them, they passed it on to you. Their parents, when they were 0 to 6, it passed on to them, to you, all the way back thousands of years. However your bloodline goes, and it sticks in your DNA. Those memories stick in your DNA, whether you want to or not. Whether you want to believe it or not, or whether you want it to happen or not. It's a bloodline thing. It's in your blood. The chosen one, it's not a freaking fairy tale, whatever they talk about in the Bible and stuff. No. The chosen one can happen today. The chosen one can rise up today. And it's not just one person. Whatever family member in that bloodline is going to break that generational trauma and stop passing it down to their children is the chosen one. All right, let's continue on. No more self-sabotaging. Okay, no more passing on our generational trauma to our children. We all need to stop. We all need to stop this cycle. All right? And how this cycle happens is what we're watching on our TV, all this other traumatizing stuff. That's why all this traumatizing stuff is on your TV screen. Because they want to keep the cycle going. So you can continue to self-sabotage. Who's going to be the chosen one in your family? I don't know. Hopefully I got a little one myself, so I'm trying. That's a whole fact, family. That's a whole fact. Peace. Peace and blessing. Thank you for hopping on. Thank you for the comment. So who's going to be that chosen one to break that generational trauma? And it's now. It's now. And this is what this whole awakening is for. For us to stop. And how do you break it? Love. 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 Love's going to conquer all. Love's going to conquer all. Love's going to be the winner at the end of the day. Not fear, not hate, not trauma, not any other emotion. Love is going to win at the end of the day. And that's how we break the trauma. All right. But it starts with your thoughts. It starts with how you think about yourself and the vibration. Understand thought is vibration. and understand the vibration that you're sending out to your whole community. Because your thought alone can affect your neighbor and their neighbor and so on. All right. So let's continue with this. I appreciate you guys for hopping on and leaving comments. This is that we're going to be listening to in the background. Thought Vibration by Walter Atkinson.
Of the original vibratory impulse imparted by the primal cause, which impulses gradually unfold and unsheath when the proper state of evolutionary development is reached. The active effort is newborn, fresh from the mint, whilst the passive effort is of less recent creation, and, in fact, is often the result of vibratory impulses imparted in ages long past. The active effort makes its own way, brushing aside the impeding vines and kicking from its path the obstructing stones.
Hey, thank you for leaving a comment, too. I don't want to say names wrong, and I don't want to say your name wrong, but I appreciate comment. I got to stop doing that. Sometimes I'll try to say the name, and it's completely wrong, and I sound stupid. So I appreciate you guys for hopping on and leaving comments. If like this kind of like the first time that I'm seeing your names, sometimes I just say it wrong. So, and people be correcting me and stuff, but I appreciate your comments.
Passive effort travels along the beaten path. A thought impulse or motion impulse, originally caused by an active effort of faculty, may become by continued repetition or habit strictly automatic. The impulse given it by the repeated active effort developing a strong momentum, which carries it on along passive lines until stopped by another active effort or its direction changed by the same cause. On the other hand, thought impulses or motion impulses continued along passive lines may be terminated or corrected by an active effort. The active function creates, changes, or destroys. The passive function
So it's a passive thing. We're changing family trauma passively. That's why it takes longer, because it's like you get like passive income. How? Because some people are just too impatient for passive income or a passive change, and they want it immediate. They're just not the chosen one. You're going to change your family bloodline passively through time, slowly. This is not, and this is what love is. Love is a slow process. Again, this is the tortoise rabbit story. The rabbit fear came out running strong in 2020. The rabbit came out running hard. I'm going to get them all. I'm going to fear them all. Fear monger. Fear monger. The slow, passive turtle of love is just trotting along. Because this is a marathon, family. It's not a sprint. It's not a sprint. So a lot of your family members, they're not going to break the generational trauma because they're not the chosen one, because they want it quick. They don't want that passive, slow moving marathon of a race. That's why you're going to win. Because you thoroughbred. It's a turtle race, family. All right? Understand that. Understand that. So that's how you are the chosen one. If you choose to be, and understand the chosen one is a choice. And it only takes one family member to change the vibration, to change the movement of the thought pattern, to change the movement of the bloodline. It only takes one. And then you create your own tree. All right? So understand that, family. No more self-sabotaging. And understand it's a marathon, guys. It's a marathon. And a lot of people that start off slow, it's not how you start. A lot of us start off slow. We could be like older. You know what I'm saying? And now we starting to wake up. Now we starting to see like, oh shit, I can do this. Because the whole time we was turtle just moving along the road. All right. The rabbits, they came out fast. Running fast, running out of steam. Like a cheetah. You see how things are starting to slow down now? 2020, they came out hard with the fear mongering. Came out hard. Slowing down a little bit. I don't hear much nowadays. It's kind of quiet out there. Let's get back to it. I'm going to do a little bit more. I've been on here a little longer than I thought, but I just wanted to get this nice and clear. There is no more self-sabotaging. Even if you try to self-sabotage because you're afraid to get your goals, because you're afraid of being judged, because you're afraid of what your family members might say. You're afraid of succeeding. You're afraid of failure. It's not happening anymore. The Most High ain't going to allow it no more. You're going to get your power back whether you like it or not. So just accept it. Imagine no longer being able to self-sabotage. Imagine getting everything that you truly desire. Being in a loving relationship. If it's $1 million house, having $1 billion income. Whatever it is. Having that great relationship. Whatever it is. Being a loving being. Imagine all those times because of all that trauma that you went through, you tried to sabotage those relationships and they worked. It's no longer going to work. You're actually going to get those relationships. Imagine that. And how you're going to do it, you're going to get it, you're going to do it by changing your thought pattern.
Carries on the work given it by the active function and obeys orders and suggestions. The active function produces the thought habit or motion habit and imparts to it the vibrations which carry it on along the passive lines thereafter. The active function also has the power to send forth vibrations which neutralize the momentum of the thought habit or motion habit. It also is able to launch a new thought habit or motion habit with stronger vibrations, which overcomes and absorbs the first thought or motion and substitutes the new one. All thought impulses or motion impulses, once started on their errands, continue to vibrate along passive lines until corrected or terminated by subsequent impulses imparted by the active function or other controlling power. The continuance of the original impulse adds momentum and force to it and renders its correction or termination more difficult. This explains that which is called the force of habit. I think that this will be readily understood by those who have struggled to overcome a habit which has been easily acquired. The law applies to good habits.
All right, I'm going to end off here, but I'm going to leave this one last thing. And he's talking about the law of thought or the force of habit. Again, we're going back to the tortoise. What is it? The tortoise turtle story, or the rabbit and the turtle story. The turtle was consistently moving along its path. Everyone should know that story. The rabbit and the turtle story. The rabbit came out running really fast. It took breaks. The rabbit was inconsistent. Rabbit ran really fast to the finish line. Tried to get to the finish line, but it was a long race. So the rabbit, he would get so far ahead of the turtle, he would sleep. He was so far ahead, he would sleep. He would take naps. He would take breaks here and there. And eventually this turtle never took a nap, never slept, never stopped, just constantly moved along the path. That eventually he passed the turtle he passed the tortoise, he passed the rabbit while the rabbit was asleep. This is a children's story. Everyone should know this story. And the rabbit woke up and he looked and he was like, oh shoot, the turtle's almost at the finish line. He had to hurry up and run. Didn't get there in time. The turtle ended up winning the race. Beat out a rabbit in a race because he stayed consistent, family. Consistency is the key. That's what's going to get you through the tough days, the tough times where you're having negative thoughts. You stay on course and you keep on moving. And before you know it, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you're at the finish line and you passed all the rabbits. What has happened in this last 2 to 3 years, because we're in the beginning stage of a new state of mind. But what happened was these rabbits out here was trying to control you through fear. This is a 1,000-year race here, guys. We're only on year 2 of a 1,000-year race. They came out too fucking hard. They came out sprinting. Now it's nap time. It's nap time. They're about to start. They're lunching right now. It's quiet out there. It's quiet out there. I don't hear many rabbits these days. It's very quiet. All right. So whatever goal that you are, whatever it is that you desire, okay, don't be the rabbit. Don't self-sabotage. Don't try to go fast. Don't try to do it passively. Do it passively and consistently. And before you know it, you're going to be at the finish line while everybody else is trying to catch up. This has been Water Drains Deep. Thank you for hopping on to this live. Finally, they let me do over an hour. I told you guys I would get it. They let me do over my hour. I didn't want to say anything until the end. Forget IG, you fucking rabbit. There's no stopping us, guys. There's no stopping us. No matter how many times they try to cut you off, no matter how many times they try to distract you, no matter how many times they try to sideswipe you, eventually they're going to fall asleep. And your boy going to be able to do a 2-hour long live, hit you with all kinds of shit. No more self-sabotaging, guys, because this is signifying that we are in a new age. I've been telling you guys that's been rocking with me for a while, I will get past an hour. I'll tell you guys for a while that they're eventually going to stop cutting me off. And look at what's going on today. Because they can't sabotage you no more, because I no longer accept being self-sabotaged. This has been your boy Water, and thank you guys for hopping on, leaving comments, and we out. Zen and abundance. How you cut this shit off?